Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make the pop-out flip card that we made in class. Well, that I made in my monthly class, and it just opens to reveal a sweet little pop-up in the middle. This is the one we made using the new Traditions of Christmas paper. And I made a few other examples with different shapes and papers. So I'll show you a few of those here at the end. So right now, I'm going to show you how easy it is. So first, you have a half sheet of cardstock for your card base, and a 4 by 5 1/4 sheet of DSP. So we're going to glue that to the front first. It's the opposite of what we normally do. Make sure you only put glue around the edge. Don't put glue in the center because we're going to cut that out and we can use it. So attach your DSP to the front of your card. And then you're going to cut a shape, a large shape out of the middle. And I do find that the rectangles, which I'll show you here in just a second, the rectangles is a good one. I find this is a good one, but it's a little short. You can always trim that with scissors. And I did this one I showed you a second ago with the, I can't remember the name of the die set. Anyways, the points seem to be a little tricky sometimes, so just be mindful of the shape that you choose, that it's relatively smooth and not too pointy. So once you've got your DSP glued, we're going to cut out the center of our card. And with the magic of television, I have done that already here. And in this case, I've used the they're not stitched rectangles. What's this called? It is textured notes dies. So this is the bundle I used, and I used number 3 and number 4. So you cut out your large section with number 3, and then you're left with this, and I used the number 4, the smaller one, to cut out a piece of white for my sentiment that fits in here. Okay, so now we've cut that out, and here's the cutout, and we did not put glue on that center of that, so we have 2 pieces of paper that we can use for, or 1 piece for another project, and this one we're going to use to put back in the center. So we'll save this. If your DSP is something you can do this with and flip it over, I don't care for this together. So I'm not going to use the DSP flipped over, but you certainly can instead of the card base color if you want to. So in this case, we're going to use the card base color. Okay, so now we've got our center cut out. Now we have 2 pieces for the mechanism. So we need a 2.5 by 2, which is scored at 1 inch on the 2.5 side. So this is 2.5, and we score it at 1. Then we have another piece that is 3 by 2, and we're going to score it every 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4, 1/2, and 2 1/4. So I'll show you that real quickly on the paper trimmer. So let me put this here so you can hopefully see that. So we're going to start with the larger piece. This is 3 by 2, and I'm going to score it at 3/4. So my 3/4 is over here. It's easier for me to use this side whenever I'm scoring a small piece of paper. So I'm going to line it up with 3/4 and score that. Then I'm just going to turn it around because it's easier for me. Then I can go to 1.5, which is the next measurement. So I only did it that way because it's easier for me to hold it. You can certainly hold it here, score at 3/4, then at 1.5, and score it again, and then score at 2 1/4. And there is your first piece of paper, a part of your mechanism. So we're going to set this aside. Now we need the second piece of our mechanism, which is 2.5 by 2, scored at 1. So we're going to put the 2.5 section at the top, move it over to the 1, and score it. And that's all you have to do for that. Okay, now I'm going to set aside those two, and we're going to play with these. I think you can see. Let's move it out just a little. Okay, I hope that is good. Okay, so now we're going to score or burnish these score lines, okay? And we'll do that on this one. So now, the next thing we're going to do is take a look, move that out of the way. So here's our card that we've cut. Open it up, and you're going to glue down your white piece that we always put on the inside, and I stamped mine first. So glue that here first. Okay, now we have the 2x3 piece that we have scored 3 times. This is the top, and this is the back piece. So we're going to put glue on the back. Okay, and then we're going to attach it to our card close to the fold, or the crease of the card base. Then I'm going to fold it just to make sure it's in the center, and it is, and we'll press that down. Okay? Then you're going to fold this in half. Mine is crooked, so we're going to fix that before we glue anything else. Okay, so now we've got this folded up. So we've got this section and then this section, right? So we're going to fold it in half and put glue here. Then we're going to close the card. Let it dry just for a second. And there we have our box. That's the the pop-up part. Okay? Now we're going to fold this down, and you might have to crease it just a little bit to get it to fold flat. But that's okay. Now we're going to put glue right here on the top section. And we're going to use this other little piece. So the smaller piece faces you, and it's folded as a mountain style, okay? Then this gets matched up with the edge of our box. So we're going to glue the two little pieces of the mechanism together that match up at the top. We'll let that dry just for a second. And here you can see how it's going to work. So when you open it and close it, it moves here. Okay? Now, close the card. And we're going to put glue on the small section down here, because that's the part that's going to move. So if we attach it like this, that's the part that kind of moves and sort of sticks up a little bit when we open the card. Okay? So we'll put glue on the small section, and then line up our piece that we cut from the center of our card, because we know it fits earlier, and line that up on that little tiny little piece that we just put glue on. Okay? And now there it is. So here's the way it looks like from the side. If that helps, I don't know. It's hard for me to see my camera, so I apologize if this is not really working for you. All right, so then we can fold down the card to close it. Here's remember I told you I cut out 2 pieces with my rectangles, and I cut out some white. So here's the white that I cut out. And I used a very old stamp set called Merriest Moments. I love this, and I used A Joyful Christmas and some of the greenery. Okay, so we'll glue that to the front. Center it up. And there you go. I also cut some accent little pieces from our new die set. I can't pick it up. What's it called? Now I'll put it someplace. Oh. It's called Branching Out Dies. And I used some green velvet paper from our velvet paper and cut some of the tree branch dies that comes in the bundle. And I'm going to attach some of those here. Now when you do this, make sure you don't glue anything on your centerpiece. Make sure you only glue on the edge of your patterned paper. So it can open. It can hang over, but make sure you don't put glue there. So then I'll put another one. So we can let it hang over a little. And then I have another little piece from the same die set, the little berry, twig and berry set or whatever this is. And I use some white glitter paper that I have in my stash. And we're just going to put that right on top. And there you have it. A pop-up flip card. So it opens and this kind of moves with your opening. And there's still plenty of room to write. But you don't have to write much. Alright, and I'll show you, I showed you this one that we did already. That was one of the examples I showed in class. There's that one. I showed you this one. And here I turned it the other way. And we did the same thing, but I did it like a portrait style. So it's the same thing, just different. It's the same exact layout, as you can see, but we just turned it portrait style. And then I did one more kind of fancy with the same paper that I just showed you. And I used an old die. I can't remember the name of it. But I decorated the middle. And, you know, it doesn't really need a whole lot of decoration. Sorry, my cat just came up here. So, here's the card we made. And I hope you enjoy making one too. Thanks.